Hello? 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 Okay.
Unlock high performance and complete control with VPS.
Hello, good evening. Please confirm if you can hear my voice from the call. Please confirm if you can hear my voice from the call. Welcome, Mr. Daniel. All right. You just wait for 5 minutes, then we start. Thank you. Please, if you have not downloaded your resource document sent to your email, the link is pinned on the chat. You can see the link there. Go and download it. We'll be using everything you have. Um, all the documents you can find in that link, you'll be using all of them during the course of our conversations. So if you know you have not downloaded it, kindly go and click on the link pinned on the chat and download everything on that folder. Thank you. All right, as we wait for others to join the next couple of minutes, can you drop your name, your industry, your name and the industry that your business resides? If you are in, depending on the industry you find yourself, okay? Some of us are in beauty and skincare, so you write your name, beauty and skincare. If you're in fashion and clothing, if you're in food and beverages, if you're in coaching, health and wellness, finance and investment, tech and digital service, admission, education and coaching, real estate, e-commerce, or anyone that I did not mention, just drop your name and the industry you belong. Is going to guide us so that we tailor whatever we're conversing around those industries so that you can be able to have value for your time today. All right, so please let's try and do that so that we can be able to recognize ourselves. All right, it's time. So, all right, Daniel, finance. All right, thank you. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump right into our class for today. Any other person join us, we meet up. So, let me quickly share my screen. Okay. All right. Hello, guys. My name is Mr. Hilary Odiakuse, and today we'll be talking about how to create and use AI influencers. Before we dive into it, I'm just going to, give us a bit of background as to why this conversation is important, especially if you're a business owner, if you have a business and you operate online, which is everybody anyway. Um, Social media or online revolves around content and what we put out there to talk to people and tell them about what we do. And influencers over donkey years have been an integral part of selling online, in the sense that influencers, due to their position in our environment, in the social media space, they have a large following. And because they have positioned themselves in such a way that they have a large following, businesses seek out these influencers to help influence their followers towards buying their product. But influencers are not cost effective. Most of the influencers we have, especially here in Nigeria, they charge you in the millions, especially when you are, and when you're just starting out, you may not be able to afford spending 5 million naira, 10 million naira for someone to do just one video. And apart from the fact that they are expensive, some of them do not deliver. They don't deliver on their promises, they don't deliver on what the contract states. And also, some of them do not, their content do not convert. Over the years, when you consider using influencers, because these influencers have a particular kind of content that they create, they may not, it may align with their audience, the content, but they may not necessarily send the message we want them to send. So while that may give us engagement, it may not give us the visibility we are looking for, especially if the audience of that influencer is not right for our brand, for your brand. And because of that, that you may not get value for your money. Now, the issue of AI influencers came when different companies started creating a bot. They create influencers whereby people started following, create accounts of models. These are like women. We don't, before it became rampant that some figures or some individuals we see online are actually non-existent. Most persons are flooded certain models per se or certain actors on a social media space, specifically Instagram, because of the lifestyle of these models, the lifestyle of these entertainers. And when it came into public that these guys were actually AI, people were baffled because the stories were real, the stories felt real, the information felt real, and all that. And that is a very important part, because it is one thing to create these animations, another thing to use them to tell the right story. So our focus today is going to be creating this stuff. Now, I'm not good at having this kind of long conversation. I'm more of about the technical side. So I'm not going to bore you any further. We're going to rush down into the technical side so we can start creating as soon as possible. Now, please mind you, try as much as possible to have with you. First of all, make sure you download the resource that has been sent to your emails. If you have not downloaded those resources, we can find them right there on the top of the chat. Kindly click on it, download it. If you have downloaded it, just type yes in the comment section so that I can be able to know that you have downloaded it. But while you are doing that, let me just take care of the boring stuff so that we can start getting to things that are important. So about the presenter, My name is Hilario Diakuse. I'm a seasoned expert in AI video editing and digital marketing with over 10 years of experience developing innovative solutions that drive business success through technology driven strategies. The reason why this information is important to you is because we are not creating videos that are used as soap operas or used for entertainment. That is not the reason why we are here. The reason why we are here is because we want to tell better stories about our product, about our brand. And for some reason, maybe we cannot do that ourselves because of time, because we are engaged, because we are busy sorting other things about our business. And we want an AI influencer that understands our business, knows what to talk about, understands how to speak to our clients, and they do it for us 24/7. While we will not be talking about how to automate this process in this video or in this live session, we'll be focusing on how to create these avatars and how to give them a personality using various AI tools, which have been given to you to sign up. I believe that in the email sent across as well, I have sent the different links to sign up for these different individual AI tools. If you have not signed up, no problem. We are going to sign up here on the live session so that you can be able to see, in case you got confused in your sign up, that you can be able to see how to sign up or if there's any need, if there's anything that you missed when you were signing up. So let's move on. Now, this is our agenda. This is what we're going to be talking about for our webinar agenda. We have three models basically. One, we're going to begin by understanding AI influencers, how they shape our business, how they interact with our audience through innovative digital marketing strategies. I've already started that one, so I'm not going to go back, maybe just briefly, but not entirely going back into it. Model two, which is the next thing we're going to talk about, is the strategic advantages lies the unique benefit of having AI influencers and how it offers to Nigerian businesses in today's competitive landscape. This is basically telling you about the advantages of AI influencers over the real influencers. Then we'll now move down to the essential free tools that we can use to empower our businesses to effectively create and manage these AI influencers, and also how we can use it to enhance our marketing efforts. What this means is that after we create the AI influencers, I'm going to give you a template at which you can be creating content for them, a particular unique kind of content for them. There are various kinds of templates, but we'll be sharing just one of the templates in this tutorial so that we can start using it immediately and start working and creating something for our businesses. So next, what are AI influencers? Like I mentioned before, AI influencers or AI avatar influencers are digitally created human-like characters that are built entirely using artificial intelligence. Like the ad you saw that brought you here, the girl on that ad is not real. It's an AI avatar. She told you about this webinar. Some of you were interested and then you filled the form and now you are here. That can also be you doing it for your own business, depending on the kind of business you do. Now, they look real, they talk and behave like real people. You are going to be the one making them behave and talk like real people. It's totally up to you. But they do not exist in the physical world. But one of the things we're going to do here is that we're going to try and make it look like they actually exist in the physical world. Why is that important? Because if you want to if you want to create an AI avatar and you want to put them in your space, let it look like they're actually in your space. These are things that you can actually do. You snap a picture of your space and you can actually put your AI avatar there to make it look real. But one thing you must understand is it is important to put a disclaimer: this is not real. If you are creating some certain kind of actually ad that has to do with talking about real life scenarios, if you are like creating ad that involve is different scenes, like someone did this, someone did that, and you're moving from scene one to scene two and stuff like that, a very more complex ad, you may need to now indicate that this is not real. These are AI was used to generate these persons. But if you are creating a just like a straight up face talking to the camera kind of video. You may need to do it, you may not need to do it. Bottom line is that provided what you are saying is in line with your business, you have to put these disclaimers in your website, as the case may be. But note that AI avatars or AI influencers is not the same as normal influencers. But you can actually, the essence of this video, of this live session, is to create that illusion, that realness for you so that you can be able to still get your audience to feel, get that human feel from your audience, especially if you are a business that doesn't have a face. You may want to give your audience a face that they can relate with. So we try as much as possible to create an avatar that looks as real as possible so that you can be able to get they can your audience can be able to get the same feeling as they would if it was you actually talking to them. Now, AI avatar influencers have a face, they have a voice, and they have a personality that will be defined by the creator. In this case, it's going to be you. And then there's going to be a story behind which they draw people to your brand and they work for you 24 hours. What does this mean? I will explain. Every AI influencer is assumed to be alive. So it means that if you are a brand, the problem we have in most businesses is that they do not come out as a brand, they just come out as a business, but there's no brand identity to it. So if I'm using an AI avatar, depending on the purpose I'm using an AI avatar influencer for, there are two ways as a business you want to work with an AI avatar. It is either you create an AI avatar that will be an influencer on his or her own page, grow that page with lifestyle aligned to the particular kind of audience that is fit for your business. I will explain. If, for example, you run a real estate business, your finance business is into maybe real estate per se, as the case may be. Finance is a bit broad. Maybe if you could break it down, I would probably be more mirrored down for you. But let me go with finance since that is what is at the top of my head right now. Let me go with real estate since that is top of my head right now. Real estate, you are targeting individuals that are high-end individuals that are into properties, into land, they are into they have a particular kind of lifestyle. People that can afford buying land, they can afford buying houses. Apart from buying houses and buying land, these people have a particular kind of lifestyle, luxury lifestyle. That is the assumption. If not 99.9%, about 80% of these persons have a luxurious lifestyle. Having said that, if you are being an influencer, this influencer have to be someone that tells the story of these people. These people made their money from scratch. Majority of them made their money from zero. They had to work 9 to 5. Then from there, they had to build their business. Then from there, they have to start making money. They have to probably invest their first 1 million into real estate, and then it appreciated and stuff like that. If you are creating an influencer that is coming out as someone that has money, as someone that is already in a real estate game, you have this particular AI influencer have to tell the story of his journey. And it's when this AI influencer is talking about his story, probably in a week, two contents in their own separate page. Now, this is not your business. You have to create a separate page for your AI influencer. He's telling his story on TikTok, telling you how he's struggling and how he's now making money. And in his page, you are seeing him driving cars, doing things that is associated with the lifestyle of people that are in the class that you are trying to influence. And then maybe for 3 months, you have to give yourself a content strategy for 3 months. Pictures, videos, pictures, videos. This AI influencer is not selling anything. It's just simply giving advice to young people, depending on what your content strategy is about. Now, if you are able to grow the followers of this AI influencer, give or take 5,000 followers, you may even actually need to maybe buy 2,000 followers after maybe you have grown it to 2,000, excuse me, if you can grow it to about 2,000 followers for the first 3 months, if you can hit 5,000, depending on your content strategy and your plan, if you can hit 5,000 followers in 3 months, which is very, very achievable if you have a well structured plan and your content volume is high, you can be able to hit 5,000 followers in 90 days. If you're unable and you're able to hit at least 40% to 50% of that mark, you are permitted to buy followers of the other percentage to hit that 5,000. Because you have organic of over 50%, when you drop your content out there, you are still going to have traction. But mind you, the essence of these followers is not for you. It's not about you. The idea of it is to create an illusion that this AI influencer is popular, 5,000 popular strong. Don't worry about the fact that it's just 5,000. That was something we'll discuss towards the end of our conversation. But for now, it has a presence of 5,000 followers. Now, once you are able to achieve that, because organically 60% of the persons in your AI influencers page is your ideal audience, people you know, that have inclination to the kind of business that you have. When you now create a content pertaining to your business, promoting your business, and you do a collaborative post with this your AI influencer, it looks as if this guy is your brand ambassador. And then because he has a following, you're organically going to have at least 60% of his followers that are actually people that can buy from you, that can be able to patronize your business, that can be able to make inquiries about your business. You cannot get this from a real life influencer because majority of them are either having broad audience that are a mix of different personalities, different likes, different interests, but are brought together maybe by probably the lifestyle or maybe the kind of content the person does. What you get there is visibility, but it's a very diluted visibility compared to when you are sure that 60% to 70% of the audience of your AI avatar are um, organic audience that aligns to your business. So that does you well, and you're not paying him any money. You're not paying any money. If you are doing any promotion, if you are doing your banner, you are using his face. And he's growing in influence because in his own page, he be telling he does his own stuff, behaves on his own, does his stuff independently, and maybe once a week or once a month, you feature him on your page. And that's how you have an influencer for life or for your business. And so that is why this is very, very important. And over time, you be gaining over before you know it, you'll be having in your AI influencers 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers. And the beautiful thing about this is that AI, like AI generative AI's model such as ChatGPTs can be the one creating this script for you. So you're not even thinking about what they want to say. You just give it a template that okay, talk about this, tell a story about this based on this. I'll give you a template on an example during the course of our conversation, and then the script is generated for you. You feed it to your AI avatar, and the rest is history. So that's something we're going to be that's one of the very, very important benefits of this. When you give it, that's what I mean when I talk about giving your AI influencer a personality, which you will define, and then a story behind it, which you are going to use to draw people to your brand, and they're going to work for you 24/7. Now, why is AI influencers important? Why is it important? Why should you consider, you know, getting for your own business AI influencers? Number one is that it is cost effective. You're not paying agency fee. You're not paying like talent fee. Yeah, because for some reason maybe they're not working under any agencies. You're not paying that. Consistent. It's always on brand. Understand? It's always wearing your stuff. If you are going to create an avatar that be wearing Your t-shirt that is carrying your logo, you're not buying the t-shirt. You're not sending any money to him to say, okay, buy this t-shirt, take cap, take t-shirt. No, you can design any kind of fabric for him to wear using AI, and he's going to wear that fabric for you. Is always going to be on brand. He's not going to be behaving, he's not going to be saying things. The content will not be created away from brand, which is one of the issues we have with our not our real influencers. They may have it, you may have, okay, this is what your business is about. But sometimes the content they create, we have no inclination whatsoever with your business. Just that somewhere in the video, you will just hear, make sure you trade on this, make sure you do this, make sure you go to these people. That's just what they say for you. Maybe that 5 6 seconds, that 5 or 6 seconds, and that is all. It is finished. And then the entire content is about something entirely different. But if you have your own AI influencers, you can influence even what they say about your business and how you want to be perceived by your audience. You have complete control. Three, it is scalable. You can create unlimited content without extra cost. You are not paying 250,000 naira for one video to an influencer today. When you come next month, pay another 250,000. No. You can create content worth for one whole year, ready and schedule and go and sleep. And arrange your pipeline to get in the goods. So you're not paying any extra cost. It's scalable. So it's something that you can do multiple times, unless when you want to make changes. Three, it is risk-free. Now, what I mean risk-free is that if you go online now and pick the picture of a celebrity and you use it for your graphic design to promote your banner. In fact, since AI came, people hardly use faces like celebrity faces for their for flyers, or use the same face of someone they saw in another graphic design or another poster in their own, because maybe they feel, this particular picture best fits what I'm trying to sell. You can create your own now because of AI image generation. One of the beautiful things about AI influencers, there's consistency. Is the guy you are seeing in your banner, is the guy you are seeing in your videos, and there's no issue of PRO scandal. Someone will not call you tomorrow and tell you that, hey, you use my face for promotions, and now you are making money off my image, right? That cannot happen. And you can actually on your own create you can actually on your own trademark your AI avatar, trademark it, because when it start getting popular, someone can easily go and take the face of your AI avatar, drop it on any of the video generator platform, and they'll start using it to create their own. So when you have, one of the things I want to tell you you must do is that when you create an AI avatar, your AI avatars, influencers, and you see that is doing very well, see that it is progressing, one of the things you have to do is to go and ensure that you secure it. So what that means is that you go and meet your lawyers, and then you trademark it, image rights. So people can even come to your DM not knowing that you are an AI, is an AI influencer you have, and say, please, can you promote my business? It's now up to you to decide if you want to or not. Totally up to you. Then lastly, you can customize it. It's customizable. You can change the look. If he's carrying, if you're the girl you are using, or the individual you are using, or the face you are using, you can decide to use different hair. You want to stay consistent with the face, but you can change the hair, you can change the clothing anytime. If you want to have multiple, if you are the type that doesn't want to have one influencer and you want to be using just different AI influencers on your page, you can decide to start changing the different looks, different voices, different personalities anytime that you need it. All right. So let us look at some of the tools we will be working with. Um, we're working with Claude. These are the free tools, some of the tools we'll be working with. It depends on what you are working with, but these are my recommendations. Some of them are paid, some of them are free, but they are all free to start. Okay, they're all free to start. So I'm going to call their names and what they'll be used for so that you can be able to follow up and know what each of these particular tools are used for. Please take note, if you're just joining us, there's a folder at the top of the chat. Ensure to click on it and download the documents in that folder if you have not. Ensure to do that. If you have any question before we start diving into the live demonstration, you can drop your question in the chat. You can be dropping your questions in the chat. I will respond to any question you have in the chat when it's time to go to our chats and look at the various questions that we have there. Now, moving on, let's look at the essential tools that you will be needing. Now, mind you, you may not need to use all these tools. These are just the options that I am recommending because these are things I use a lot. We have Claude AI, and we have Gemini AI. You can also add there ChatGPT. This we call these generative AIs. Now I'm going to be saying some BP grammars along the line, so I'll try my best to break it down and tell you what they mean. Now, something we call generative AI means these are AI models. Okay, AI models are like tools, softwares. So when I use the word model, I'm referring to the tool or the software. So Claude and Gemini AI or ChatGPT are AI models that are used to generate um, content based off interpretation from the creator or from the writer. This is just my own hazard way of explaining it. What that means is that what they do is that they help you generate image, text, image, and text. Some of them, like Claude, does not generate image for you, but Gemini AI generates image because it has embedded in it other models that you can use to generate the images. But Claude does not have a model embedded to create image. But Claude is more intelligent than Gemini and ChatGPT. In fact, ChatGPT is the least intelligent when it comes to generating text. When it comes to generating text, ChatGPT is the least intelligent. Claude is the most intelligent generative AI when it comes to generating text. Gemini can generate both text, very good text, more than ChatGPT, and can also generate image because it has Nano Banana inside of it. It has Nano Banana. So if you want to generate, Nano Banana is a model that generates images. You understand? So it is something that when you now want to generate image using Gemini AI, it is going to call on the Nano Banana model inside of it, and then is going to use it to generate the image for you. In Google AI Studio, you can find Nano Banana there. You can also find voiceover tools there as well. So we may not use all of them, but I'm just telling you that Google AI Studio has variety of tools. Some of them are paid, some of them are free. If you the Nano Banana in Google AI Studio, the one that is free is cost is not doesn't give you very good product, very good picture quality. Is not very good. So if you want the one that will give you very good picture quality, use the one from Gemini AI. Then let us now leave text. For text, we're going to be using Claude in our conversation. We're using Claude AI for our conversation when we want to do text. When we want to do video, when we want to do pictures, we're using Nano Banana under Gemini AI or any other AI platform that requires generating images. The model we're using is going to be Nano Banana. I will explain it further when we start demonstration, so don't worry. Then for video generation, we have three of them there. We have Xfield, we have Flow, and we have Ascad. These three engine or these three platforms, they are what you use. You can use them to generate video content. Inside of these platforms, you have models such as VO3, and we have Kling 3.0, we have Sedans, depending on the one you want to use. The difference between all these models is some of them have larger time, whereby videos can be done from up to 10 seconds, some can be done for 15 seconds at a stretch. Some of them can maybe convert video to video, some can edit video in video, stuff like that. So it depends on the complexity of the work you want to use that will determine which of these models you want to, start using. Then we have 11 labs. 11 labs is what you use in creating your voice for your the voice for your avatar. So that's where you use to create a voice so that you have a consistent voice. Then lastly, we have CapCut. CapCut is more or less your editing platform. It has a mobile version and it has a desktop version. For this tutorial, we are just going to use the desktop version. I may not be teaching you about the nitty-gritties of CapCut, but I will show you the basics, at least to achieve the video we are trying to achieve. All right. Now, I think it is now time for live demonstration. So if you have any question, um, can you drop it in the comments so that we can look at it right now? There is no question. Kindly type no question, then we can move on. All right, no question for now. All right, so we're going to now go to our documents. The first document we are going to use your the folder. You're going to find talking about we're going to be filling because you're going to be building your own alongside me. All right, so let's start with AI character brief. This very one. Okay, so let's go with this one first. Okay. So we're going to fill these things together. Now, we've already. So if you look at it, this is going to go through it and look at how we use this document. You are expected to fill. I know the email we sent was try and fill some of these information before we come, so that we'll be very fast. So I'm hoping that some of us have already started filling the information in this particular document. But if you have not, we can move together. So the first thing I want to do, first of all, is complete this character brief in full. Let's complete the character brief in full. Um, Second step is we're going to be using Claude AI to generate our image prompts from this brief. After we have finished completing this our character, the document for our character, the next step we're going to be going through is to use Claude AI to generate our image prompt. I'm going to tell us what prompt is. So what is prompt? Prompt simply means the instruction. The instruction you give to your generative AI for it to carry out the tasks you want it to carry out. The next step is then, after we have gotten our prompt, we will now use that prompt to generate an AI influencer image using Nano Banana. After that, you can also use ChatGPT. Okay, you can if you want to use ChatGPT to generate your image, you can also use it. Then fourthly, we're going to animate our work using Xfield. Fifth step is we're going to add voice using 11 labs. And six, we're going to create a talking video using Agent. And then we're going to edit it using CapCut. Now, this particular document is for an advanced class. But for this particular stuff, we may not use Agent, but Agent is faster, Agent is easy. So because of time, I will use the Agent, then we'll use something else. The reason why I want to use something else is because Agent has it can be expensive. And I want a situation whereby once you leave, you want to start using it as soon as possible. Agent has if you use Agent free version right now, you can start using Agent and start you can use the Agent free version and start working on it right now. However, the free version may not have access to some of the realness that I'm hoping to show you. It may show in my own system, in my own machine, may not show your own machine. So I wanted something that at least for the free version, they will give you access to everything because it's like a trial period, like they'll give like 7 days trial period or some sort for you to have access to everything. But we're going to do the agent and then we're going to do the other one so that we can now compare the flexibility. All right. So apart from the agent, we're also going to use View 3 as well. So let's move on. So this is it. Now, on your other tab, I want you to go into the document of AI influence. You want to pull out the one of these documents that has to do with female. So I'm just going to open one of them. I didn't name them properly. My bad. All right. So let's see. Let me start with this one. I'm just going to open them in different folders, different tabs rather. Okay, this is for male. So okay. This is for female. So download the document that is called download one in bracket. Download one in bracket. I want you to get that document up. That's this one. Download one. Let me rename it. Okay, let me rename this one to female head shapes. Okay. And the other ones we have download two, also female head shape. So you need to get those ones out, right? Female head shapes. Two. All right. So let's quickly go back to our form. Once you have those things out, it will help you. So we're going to do this together, okay? So we're about, please make sure you download it. Make sure you download these stuffs out. Download all the documents, everything in that folder, download it. Ensure to download it. All right. All right. So if you are ready, let me know so that we can start filling this the information together. Because from here, we'll be taking stuff from here to build our avatar. So if you have created yours, if you have set yours up, click it right in the comment section. Go ahead. If you know you have downloaded yours and you are ready to go, if you are on this page I am in right now, kindly say go ahead so that I can be so I can kickstart. Or drop an emoji because I don't want to start without you. Okay. So for I'm going to kickstart now. We go ahead. Okay. All right. So I will proceed. You can always come back to the video and watch. So let me just proceed for now. Now, first things first, character name. You want to give it a name. I'm going to give it my own name. I'm going to call it for my own. I'm going to assume that I have a fashion brand. So you assume you write for your own brand, put in the name of what you want to call your character. It can be you if you want to create yourself as the character. You can be your name and said, okay, put your name there. So for this particular one, I'm going to put Shinyeri. Okay, that's the name. Yeah. All right, Shinyeri. Because of Shinyeri, my target audience is between a particular age range. Let's say I'm targeting a Shinyeri now. I'm a fashion designer. I have my own clothing line, and I'm new in the market. I'm targeting people my age. So I want to be the same age as people that I'm targeting. So let's say I am Chinye and my target is let's say between 22 years to 25 years. So I'm going to put there 22, let's say 23, so that I can be at the middle. 23 years old. 23 years old. All right. I'm a female. I'm a Nigerian. Okay. For gender, I'm going with female. For nationality, I'm going with Nigerian. Location, I'm going with Abuja. Okay. Occupation, um, fashion influencer. Okay. Niche, fashion. Okay. Fashion. That's my niche. Now, under you see a tip there. Choose a name that is easy to remember because this is someone you want to bring to life. At some point, you're going to have a name, you're going to call it someone on the social media space. Hi, my name is this. Hi, my name is this. It's going to happen in the social media space. So you would want to give this particular influencer a name that is cultural, that is very cultural. I recommend when you are dealing with Nigerian brands, ensure you go with the cultural name. That's why I went with Shinyeri. Okay, you want to go with things like here, you want to go things like John, you want to go things, sorry, things like Ade, Tunde. If you are more of the southern part, you want to go with Akpan, um, stuff like that. Bukewe, something that is familiar with your brand and people can easily recognize. All right. So, just for emphasis, if you want to download this stuff in your Google Drive. It's very simple. Once you click on it, look at there is an icon here. You see the download there popping up. You click on that icon, and that's how you download anything you want to download. If you want to download the full folder, you can just come to the folder here, okay, and you click download, and it will download the entire folder for you. All right, so that's how you download in case you are struggling with downloading. All right, so let's move on. Now, like I said, choose a name that is easy to remember, a name that is relevant and feels authentic to your target audience. Nigerian names work powerfully for Nigerian audience. So don't start bringing English name or Spanish name. Understand? All right. Once you have that part, you want to go to the next part, which is very important, appearance. And this is what brings us now to what I those pictures that you are going to use to give us an understanding of what a visual understanding of what we are trying to create. Now, what is the skin tone? There are different kind of skin tone, but I recommend you go for something that is aligned. Don't go with something that is not does not align with something that feels real or feels Nigerian. So you can go between dark, deep dark brown, medium brown, light brown, or maybe fair. When you start doing things like foreign, white, please. So of these options here that are available on the sheet, pick any of them. Dark, deep dark brown, medium brown, light brown, fair. Mind you, you can change these things. If you are not sure of the color feel, when we are putting our prompt out there, if you put the first one, that's not the skin color you like, you can change it. You understand? The same thing for the hairstyle. Short afro, long box braid, cornrows, natural 4C, locks. There are different kind of hairstyles. If you don't even know how this hairstyle looks like, keep trying the different hairstyles. There, keep trying it until you see the one you like. If you see a picture somewhere that say, this is the hairstyle I want, but I don't know the name, very simple, put that picture into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, what is the name of this hairstyle? It's going to give it to you, the name, and then you can come and put it here. Then the color, black, dark brown, blonde, and so on and so forth. Select. Then we'll talk about the eye shape. So let's look at eye shape. Okay. Let's look at eye shape. Eye shape is the same for male and female. Okay, so look at them. We have almond eyes. Let me make this bold so that you can see it very well. We have almond eyes. We have siren eyes. We have hooded eyes. We have round eyes. We have down-toned eyes, up-toned eyes, monolid eyes. This one's for the Chinese. The Chinese have the monolid eyes. And we have the deep set eyes. So you can look at this and say, okay, what kind of eyes do I want my AI avatar or my AI influencer should have? For me, I'm going with the siren eyes. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with the siren eyes. So I'm going to fix siren eyes here. Okay. Siren eyes. Okay. Eye color. I'm just going to go with dark brown. Let me not no need writing it, but that's what I'm going with, dark brown. Then facial features. All right, we come again. Facial features. There's anything you want to add to your face. There's anything you want to add to your face. Okay, you see here things like well balanced. Let me zoom it in a bit so we can see it properly. Sorry about that. Right. So we have well balanced, forehead slightly wider than chin. This particular girl, now if you look at the under the oval shaped face, under the oval shaped head or face, as the case may be, these are the features that make up. If you want your avatar to have this kind of face, I'm not saying having exactly like this. No, I'm talking about the features, the kind of jawline. This particular person in the avatar in the oval face has well balanced face. The forehead is slightly wider than the chin. She has soft rounded jawline. So you may want to include that as well under your features. So you're now going to go, what are the features? So you start by writing oval shape face with a well balanced oval shaped face, forehead slightly wider than chin, with soft round jawline. If you want the other one, the next one, which is this one, round, we go with round face with full cheeks, soft rounded jawlines, width and length are almost equal. We have for square face, heart face, long face, diamond face, triangle face, and oblong face. All right. For this one, I'll be going with diamond. So I have diamond shaped face, narrow forehead and jaw lines. So let me go and type it in. No, let me not go with that. Let me change it. I have something else in mind. Let me change it. Let me look at it and make another. Yeah, let me take something else. You can also look at this one for clear understanding of what you are looking at. Okay, this is the kind of face people have. This is looking at it from a more symmetrical view. Triangle face, square face, oval face, diamond face, so that you know what you are looking at symmetrically, so that you are nothing you don't you have a clear understanding of what you are looking at. Okay, so you can also view this as well as a source of direction. Oval face, square face is the same thing there. The other one has more information. I just wanted to make sure that I brought this picture to your notice so that you do not miss this particular one as well. All right, having said that, let me now get back. Diamond shaped face. Mhm. With narrow forehead and jaw lines. Wide cheekbone and angular face. Now, why is this important? This is important for consistency. You don't want to generate a a woman with oval face in one video. The other video you want to generate the same woman, although you only need to use this once. Yeah, you only need to use this once. You don't need to use this all the time, but it's just important that you get what you are looking for from the beginning. Okay, I'm only going to need to have this ones, and I'll tell you why. Okay, let me delete. I just delete this the ones I'm not looking at. Eye color. I said dark brown. Let me just delete the ones I'm not using. Okay. Okay. Hair color black. Mm, long braid. I'm going with long braid. I'm going with skin color medium brown. Okay. Next, body type. I'm going with curvy. Curvy. Okay. Size. I'm going with 5 feet 4 inches. Doesn't really matter, but pick one. All right. Accessories. Is she going to be wearing something? Do you want her to be wearing glasses, hoop earrings, necklaces, stuff like that? I think I will leave that out. Whatever the AI wants to give me on that one, it doesn't matter for me. I will leave it. All right. Once we have that, it's now time to describe outfit. For outfits, we're not going to discuss it. We're not going to do outfits. Rather, we're going to just create for this tutorial, we're going to wear them a polo, we're carrying our logo. Okay, we're going to wear a polo carrying a particular logo. All right, I think that's all we're going to do for time. But if you want to take time, we can actually let's just pick something quickly for outfits. Let's find an outfit for our avatar. So I'm going to go into Pinterest, okay, and I'm going to go with female outfits. Okay, let's see brand outfits. Okay, let's see brand outfits. Okay. Mm, no, no, sorry. Female. Company, company outfits. I just want polo, polo, company polo. So we'll just pick anyone here, okay? But if you have your logo, there's a way you can do it, okay? But I just want to pick one here, one of them here. Let me just go with this one, okay? For the sake of this video. So I'm going to download this outfit, okay? So download. All right, we have it. So that's it for outfit. That's it for outfit. Then let's go appearance. So now it's not time for appearance. Now we're going to create our AI now. All right, we're going to create our avatar. Now this is the first prompt for this class. If you look at it here, copy it, copy this prompt, copy it. All right, so you go to your GI. In this particular tutorial, we're going to use Gemini, ChatGPT, okay, and then I'm going to use Nano Banana and Gemini. I'm going to use ChatGPT, and I'm going to use Nano Banana in Flow to see the quality and the resemblance across these different GI platforms so that we can be able to be sure, or rather to be able to understand. Not you. Okay, let's start first of all with Chat GPT, the one we are very familiar with. Let's see what Chat GPT is going to give to us. Prompt, the first prompt. I've copied the first prompt. So let's see what's going to give us. So I have pasted it. So if you look at the prompt here, we have different spaces where you are to replace with the information from your phone. Information from your phone. Before we continue, please, if you know you have not, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so you can be able to have more content like this, because apart from live sessions like this, I drop tips on each and every aspect of this tutorial to improve whatever you are going to learn, so that as time goes on, you should start mastering it, and who knows, you can start using this thing more perfectly for your business. Now, we have here gender. The gender you filled in your own, replace it. I said male. Is a Nigerian, so I will add Nigerian. So, photorealistic Nigerian male, 23 years old. Skin tone. What did I write in my skin tone? Okay, I said medium brown. Okay, and copy it and come and fix it there. Medium brown skin. Okay, hairstyle. Oh, mine is female. Sorry, not male. Female. All right. Hairstyle. What did I say is a hairstyle? Long box braid. Okay. Okay. Long box braid. What's the high description? The eye description. Serene eyes, dark brown serene eyes. That's the color. Does it have a color attached to it? Okay, so dark brown serene eyes. Dark brown serene eyes. Dark brown serene eyes. Okay, facial features. Is there anything you need to know? Okay, let's see. All right, let me copy this. Okay, what's that build? Curvy. How do you spell that? Curvy build. Curvy build. Outfits. Now for the outfits, I will just write see reference image. For the accessories, I'm taking away the accessories. For expression, I can just say smiling. For now. For now. And Smiling. Okay. So remember, I said she's wearing C reference image. So I will come here to this plus sign here, and I will click on it. And you see add photos and files. And I will now come to my download and take that. Once I'm done with that, that's all. I will copy this because I want to try it in the other ones. So I'm going to send this prompt. While this prompt is loading, let me go now to Gemini. Let me reload it. So we're going to try it. We're going to try the same prompt across different GIs. What are the GIs? We said Claude, Gemini AI, and ChatGPT. But Claude is more for text. All right, so I'm going to add the reference image too here. Okay, submit. And then the last but not the least, which is this other one, the reference image. Don't worry, when we start going to the tools, I will explain the tools. For now, we know how to use ChatGPT, we know how to use other Gemini. So those ones are easy. So, or Gemini is ready. So, ChatGPT is ready. Wow. Okay. This is this is what ChatGPT gave to me. Okay. This is what ChatGPT gave to me. Okay. So ChatGPT gave to me. So let me look at Gemini. This is what Gemini gave to me. So far, so good. ChatGPT is winning. ChatGPT is winning. Now, why did I say ChatGPT is winning? The realness of the face is something you want to take into consideration. The realness of the face. You see, this girl looks more real. This one looks more AI. So you want to focus on the one that looks more real. That's why I said some of these platforms they have some have are more intelligent than the other. So let's look at the one. For me, I feel this should be the best. The one from this particular one should be the best. Let me reload this. Okay. Sometimes these things are like this. Uh, s- um, system malfunction. It happens with video sometimes. All right, so I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna download it first. This is the button for download. All right, so it is downloaded. So that's the first step. Were you able to download your own? Please let me know in the comments. Were you able to download your own? Did you see something that you like? Were you able to download yours? Did you see something that you like? If you did, kindly say yes in the comment section so I will know that we are following. We're doing it one after the other. Because the next step we are going to go to now is very crucial. It's very, very crucial. We were able to download our own. All right. This next part is on personality and character of your AI influencers. Now, ideally, this is going to be something that is related specifically to your business. We may not feel this. I may not need. I may not need to feel this one for you. This one is going to be more directly related to business, but I'm going to guide you on how you should feel it. Okay, how you should feel it. Now, for personality and character, there are some things you want to take into consideration in terms of what do you hope to achieve how when your video comes out when you're using these AI avatars. How should they how should people perceive them? What are the personalities? What are the traits? How do they communicate? This is something the reason why this is important is because when you are creating content, you're going to be adding statements like it should be punchy, it should appear confident, it should appear ambitious, witty, relatable. Those terms, when you are using them, you are telling your GI, your video generator, let my character behave a certain way when he's saying what I have asked it to say. Because if you give your AI character a script and say this, and you do not give him or her how he should present your business, the AI avatar is going to decide on his own how to behave. He's going to give himself his own personality. On his own, he's going to start talking confidently, probably in something you don't want him to talk confidently on. Maybe you want it to talk in a more calm, warm vibes, and then he's talking very, very fast, 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 or he's talking very slow, as if he's not sure of what to say. Some brand are more direct in their conversations. They like hitting the nail on the head and they want the communication style of the avatar to be the same. So, if you do not have a brand identity as a business, knowing what to do here is going to be a problem for you. So, in order to move forward on this, we're going to look at another document, or rather, we are now going to go to Claude. Let's go to Claude. Okay, let's come to Claude. Let's open a chat for Claude. Now, if you don't know what Claude is, open your browser. Please, do you have any question or are we confused in any way? Let me know. Do you have any question or are you confused in any way? Please let me know. Um, Mr. Daniel, have you been able to download the documents in the pinned message in the chat? Have you been able to download the documents in the pinned message in the chat? Please confirm. All right. Have you been able to feel, have you been able to create your avatar? Have you been able to create the image of your avatar? Please confirm. So, but you have been able to fill the form where you are copying and pasting in your prompts. You have been able to do that. Please let me know because we're about entering building the personality. All right, no problem. So now let's look at Claude. Now, Claude, like I said, is one of the most intelligent GIs. One of the most intelligent GIs. We're going to use it to build the personality of our brand, or rather, our AI avatar. Like I said, AI avatars depend. This particular part of our conversation is going to be dynamic. The example I might go with may not be what is good for is what may not be what is ideal for your brand. It may not be what is ideal for your brand. So it depends on I can what I can share with you is certain factors. Certain factors. Now, what are the factors? At the beginning of our session, we discussed that how you want to position your AI influencer is totally up to your is totally up to your content strategy for your brand and the usage of your AI avatar. The first example I gave was it is either you give your AI avatar a life on its own outside your business. Give yourself 3 months to build a following for your AI avatar, and then it gathers followers on its own. But he's talking about things, problems that people in your industry will relate with, and putting himself as someone that has had that problem and is someone now that is no longer having that problem because he has now achieved a particular goal, which most likely his audience is trying to achieve. Now, because you are the expert behind the brain of your avatar, you are the one feeding it with content. Obviously, using AI to feed it with content. But the content you are feeding it with is based on its own life, its own lifestyle. For that particular lifestyle, for that particular scenario, I created a guide for that because I'm not sure of the kind of business or the brand that you are, of the person that will be joining us today. So, what I created was an avatar that has his own life, that has his own life about himself, about herself in this scenario. If that is the direction you want to go to, you want to create an avatar that has his own life, has problems, has his personal life, and then you want to use that as a way of getting people that have similar shared values with your avatar, which will also profit your business. Because we said the reason why this is important is because if you go for real life avatars, or sorry, real life influencers, they may not have 100% of their followers people that want, or rather that are aligned with your brand. Maybe 10%, sometimes 5% are the persons that actually align with your brand. And because of that, you may not have good value for your money. So to avoid that, you want to now create an influencer that is talking only to people that you can benefit from. So that by the time you now have, let's say, 5,000 followers in the space of 3 months, because you are giving them educational content, lifestyle content, you already have like organic people that have the capacity to buy from you. And all you have to do is now make it seem as if you have signed your own avatar. And then when you do collaborative posts with the avatar now when the avatar now start talking about your business, people will not see that, hey, it belongs to this company. Oh. No, it will now look more like, oh, this our guy, this our influencer, this our celebrity is the one showing us to this company because this our celebrity has worked with this company and he has now known that this company can satisfy, can help us to reach our goal. And you are almost guaranteed 80 to 90% that the persons that will likely see your content when you collaborate a post with your own AI avatar will likely give you what you are looking for. Now, if you don't want to do that and you want to use AI avatar for your business, I do not recommend you use one type. Use different types. Let it look as if different faces are talking about your brand. So you can generate different kind of influencers. You get they come and talk, but make it as real as possible. Let them talk, put them inside your office, put them inside your space, and then you can be able to use them to create content for you. Now, back to Claude. What we want to use Claude for is if you are a business and you want to now say, okay, how do I come about my brand? How do I come about setting up my branding so that I can be able to now, after setting up my brand, I can now teach my avatar to behave in line with what my brand is about. Okay? We're going to now, that's what we're here for. We're going to now say, okay, we want to train our chat. We want to train our generative AI so that anytime we say we want to talk about this topic online, it's going to talk about the topic in the way it should be spoken for your brand. If there's a way you like talking, is a way you want your brand to be perceived. The generative AI, we're going to train the generative AI so that it starts thinking as our brand. So by the time we now say, okay, talk on this, talk on that, based on our content strategy, it's not just going to talk generally, it's going to speak as if it is speaking on behalf of our brand. And at that, when we now give that to our avatar will now speak based on what has been generated by our generative AI. I want to believe what I've said is understood, but for simplicity's sake, we want to train our generative AI. If you are using ChatGPT, no problem. It is still the same way. We want to train our ChatGPT. But I am recommending Claude AI when it comes to what you want to be giving you content ideas, what you want to be giving you um, um, articles, what you want to be giving you scripts for your AI. I am recommending Claude because I feel personal recommendation, it is more intelligent than ChatGPT and Gemini AI. So without further ado, let's jump into Claude. So just go to search engine, type Claude AI. I already have it in my engine, but for the sake of those that have not done it before, let's jump into it. All right. I'm supposed to register. We are with the free one. It's just things from ChatGPT, stuff like that. You cannot chat with PDF, Excel, like you cannot link your documents to Claude. So if it's Claude that you can link your documents to it. Understand? You can from Claude you can do graphic design. You get connect it to your Canva to do your graphic design for you. You connect it to these are VO3 and other things, it can do it for you. Okay, but only on the pro version. But we're just going to go with a free for now. Okay, and continue. Or we can log in. We can log in. Okay. This one is already logging to me. Oh. Let me log out so that you can see how I log in. Okay. This is how it's supposed to appear. You see the login button here at the edge. When you log in. When you log in, you can I recommend you log in using your Gmail. Okay. Very simple and straightforward. Log in on your Gmail, and if your Gmail is not already logged in on this your account, it is going to prompt you to put in your email address again, and then probably ask you for your password. If it's a new machine, maybe you have your phone that is already logged into your Gmail, it may ask you to now probably use it to give you two-step verification to confirm that you are the one logging into um, Claude for your Gmail. So it's a very straightforward something. There's nothing very complex about it. So I'm going to go back to my own. I have a paid version here, which I use as well. So I'm going to come here. Let's chat. So new chat. All right. So I'm going to drop the prompt here. The first prompt, I'm going to ask it to build a brand identity. Okay. So I'm going to give this is I'm not this is what I'm going to give to you. Okay. So for most people, they find it very difficult to talk or communicate with GIs. It's very straightforward and simple. So I'm going to say, hey, Claude, um, I want, I don't know my brand identity. Okay. Kindly help me with a template I can use to build this. I need it to create content for my brand. Do you understand? Now, the reason why I put do you understand whenever I'm using GI for something I cannot really explain very well, but I know what I'm looking for, is because I want to be sure what is in my mind is what this guy is going to tell me. I'm not just going to write it and assume the guy understand what I'm saying. So if I'm not very sure that I don't know, maybe I don't know how to put what I'm looking for in words, but I know what I'm looking for. I know what I'm expecting. Okay, but I want to be sure the AI knows what is in my mind if he understands me. So what I'm asking first before he gives me is going to tell me if he understands. All right, so let's go so that I can be able to now tell him no, this is not what I'm talking about. I will now redirect. based on the information he's going to give to me. So Claude said, got it. To build you the most useful brand identity template, I need to understand your situation a bit better first. He wants to understand my situation. He wants to know what I'm looking for. So it's generating some details for me, some questions he would like to ask me. And this is probably going to happen to every one of you. I'm going to drop this thing I said to Claude in the comments so that in case you need it. I'm going to drop it in the comments in case you need it. Right. All right, let's get back to what we're doing. All right, so this is what he has for me. He said, what stage is your brand at right now? What stage is your brand at right now? That's what he wants to know. He wants to know what stage is my brand at. Then I can select. I have not launched yet. Early stage, established. So you will now select. For this particular tutorial, I'm going to go with just an idea. I have not started the brand. I just have an idea. This is what I want to do. Okay. That's just what I have. I have not started anything. Okay. What type of business or brand is it? I would say service. Okay. Personal brand is about me, but let's say service. All right, let's go with service. Which platform are you mainly creating content for? So with Instagram, I'm going to go with TikTok and LinkedIn. No, let me take LinkedIn out. Okay, I'm going to go with Instagram, TikTok. Instagram and TikTok. That's probably my target. Then tell me briefly, what does your brand do and who is it for? So I would say logistics. Okay. Service for small businesses. Okay. Continue. All right. So he's not going to think. He's not giving me a template now. I'm not going to waste my time. He's giving me a template. Here is your complete brand entity template. This particularly for your logistics service. This is what we will not. We're going to tinker it a bit. Okay. So you see, so this is not a template he's going to give to me. This is not the essence of this video. That's the reason why I said I'm just going to give you an idea. By the time you get this information here, you can now move. All right. Brand name, you feel it, your taglines, mission statements, stuffs like that. Who you serve, you put something there, pain points. If you align what it is, you move on. If you don't align, you can always chat and write, change this place, change that place. So you see, this is your content pillars. It's not telling you that these are the content pillars your post should be about. Education, social proof, business tips, brand story, offers, community trends, platform guide. It has the one for Instagram. It said polish but warm, use carousel for tips, reels for quick wins and behind the scene, use stories for day to day. Your captions can be slightly long, lead with hook and end with a CTA. Or TikTok, use raw, fast, energetic content. These are very, very good stuff. So you see, it has given us this now. It's now asking us, you can tell it to give you a mission statement, to give you content ideas, blah, 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 blah. By the end of the day, once you have the information, what you want to do once you have everything is use this template to create a personality for my AI influencer. Use this template to create a personality for my AI influencer. And that's what it's going to give to you. Now, if you are, let's now move. If you're not going with the other one, which is the one for this particular video, which is AI influencer that you are going to build to have a life on its own separately from your brand. And then maybe later you will now align yourself with that brand. What we call it is backstory. We call it backstory, and that's what we're going to work with. It is also among the documents that I give to you as well. So there's a backstory. You, this is another form again you use to fill in your backstory. Now, every AI influencer needs a believable backstory because you are trying to bring it to life. It has to have an history now. Is the person married? Does he have children? You have to generate those ones as well. If he's the type that wants to be showing his family out there, if you don't want to show his family out there just to be just about him, or maybe let him be single, whatever, you need to be able to give people an idea of who he is as a person. And let's move on. Without one, your character is just without a backstory, your character is just a pretty face. Doesn't have a soul. People cannot relate with it. Your audience cannot connect with it. And this guide here will give you the exact framework and the rules and the tools that you also use to write a compelling backstory for your AI influencer, regardless of the business niche or industry you are working or you want it to work. Now, understand, you do not need to be a writer to use this guide. Just follow the steps and fill in the blanks. And then the formula, you can use the formula for what you want to use. Excuse me. All right. Why a backstory? Why does it matter? Most people creating AI influencers focus entirely on the looks and the voice. You just spend hours perfecting the image and getting the voice right. Let the girl be attractive. Let the AI person looks beautiful. That's the focus. But then they wonder why the audience is not engaging or trust the character. If your AI is fake, if it's not relatable, people will figure out it's an avatar, it's an AI, it's not real because it doesn't have any soul to it. The reason is almost always the same. The character has no story. Once it has no story, once every time they see that avatar is saying, have you bought this? Have you bought that? Have you bought this? Is the character an amebo character? Is he the type that likes telling apropos stories? Is he the type that likes giving gossip? Is he the type that appears very, is he a family man that likes talking about family? Is he the one that always and how you do that is you always tell that this person is relatable or you are doing a good job. Where if the stories or what is being said by your character relates to what's happening. Imagine a character is in front of you and is saying things like, last week I was at a wedding reception and they stole my money. And having looked at here and there, we couldn't find who stole the money. But we remember that there was a CCTV camera somewhere in the hall. And because the hall had that CCTV camera, we looked at it and we were able to find the person. Thank God for Ejiro, CC camera, and so so and so. We were able to figure out this and that. If they did not have the CCTV camera in the hall, I but that was how my phone or my money would have gone missing. This particular storyline can sell either for the CCTV camera or for the owner of that hall. If you want to promote that your hall, your event center is safe, it's not just about saying it is safe. Once your AI avatar is saying things like, I went to a wedding in your hall and I lost my phone. Because of the tight security, I quickly rushed down to the security personnel and they locked the hall and came in, nobody went out. And we checked the CCTV, the location I was, and we were able to figure out the person that stole the phone or stole my money. Because of this, I was able to now recover. Thank God for this particular event center, or thank God for the security agency, or thank God for the people that installed the CCTV camera. This now depends on which of them now employed the AI avatar to promote. The AI avatar will now decide if it's the event center that paid the AI avatar to promote that their business, is going to say, thank God that this hall has these things in place that people have been presented. And you that wants to look, that's looking for an event center and is conscious of things like security in your event center, this particular avatar or this influencer will influence your decision if you are a hot lead at that point in time. So these are some things that you want to add, you'll be adding to your stories, but based on the background of this person. The person needs to have something that makes it look like one of us. Then again, the backstory does three critical things. It makes the character feel human and believable, even when they are not. Even if you know they are AI character, it will link to you. It will connect you to how they are feeling. It gives the audience a reason to care and follow, and it connects the character directly to the problem your business is solving. So very, very important. Very, very important. Now, this is the backstory equation. Your backstory must give a relatable struggle. Imagine you can see what I just said now from the story I just told. A relatable struggle plus turning point plus outward mission will now build trust from your audience. All these three elements are present for your audience to feel like they know you. So when anyone is missing, the character feels. When any of these things are missing, if there is no struggle, something that your audience can say, "Hey, this thing affects me. Ah, this thing affects me." If you don't have that in your backstory equation, something is missing. If you just go and start telling us about the turning point, how the thing help you in what way? What was your struggle that it helped you? Outward mission, talking about this is what this brand is out to do, which now which is now coined out from your mission statement as a brand, something that you will probably see there in your document if you are the type that doesn't have a brand statement, brand mission, and you're trying to create something out of it. Your brand mission statement is what will now feed that particular part of the equation. So how do we use it? We now come to the golden rule. The golden rule. Now, before you write a single word, apply these five rules. They are the difference between a backstory that converts and the one that you just put out there and it will not convert. Rule one, your backstory must be rooted in a real problem, not the problem you just brought from upstairs. The problem does not exist. It must be a problem that actually exists, something that has happened to a lot of people, and you may likely get that from feedback. In fact, most businesses start because they have identified problems, a particular problem that they feel their product or their services can solve. So you want to write those problems out and start using them as part of your backstory. Now, if your audience cannot see themselves in your struggle, your story will not connect. So you want to ask yourself, what is the number one frustration your target or customers will face? And then you build your origin story around the exact pain. Now, I may want to now say, for me, if I'm creating my influencer away from my brand, I may want to come and say, this thing happened. The avatar may not come and say, this thing happened to me. And thank God I am not doing this. I'm not doing this. And I'm maybe sharing how I came out of that struggle, depending on the business. And then I start sharing tips on how I'm able to manage that struggle. And then down the line, I may now introduce the product, the services that actually helped me on my journey in achieving or rather overcoming that struggle. The second rule is make the struggle specific, not generic. Make your struggle specific. It should not be generic. What does that mean? It should not be vague. It should resonate. So let's look at some of them. Weak ones and strong ones. An example of a weak one can be she struggled with money. If you say your avatar struggled with money, it's very vague. If your avatar is coming and is trying to talk to people that struggled with money, it's too generic. It won't hit. But if you come and say, do you know that I lost my entire savings because I made a bad investment when I was 29 years old? Someone in 29, someone around 29 years old right now has probably heard about going into investment. Someone around 25 years old right now is probably thinking about doing things like mutual funds, probably looking at some investment he wants to put his or her money in. Maybe they have grown their money to a point and they're like, I think I have to start looking at moving away from salary. I want to let me start thinking about going into investment. And when you maybe begin a content and your avatar starts with, I want to tell you how I almost lost my entire savings when I was 25 years old because of a bad investment. And then you start talking. And because maybe I have probably involved myself in maybe one Ponzi scheme, those business that we say bring two people, bring three people, and maybe at a point everybody disappearing, it was time for me to collect my money. People that goes into Ponzi scheme. Maybe this thing that happened to you, you want to put your ear down to see, oh, is this person talking to me? Is this person join me? You may actually use a real investment scam that actually happened. And you said, in the year 2003, I was among those that lost over so and so amount of money when this platform came up. I give a backstory. I mean, that time people was asking me to pull out, I was not listening to them, stuff like that. You're already talking and people are already listening to you already. So that's one. Another weak one is when you say, I had a hard time growing my business. No, try, instead of saying your avatar had a hard time growing his business, try saying he spent 50,000 naira a month on influencers who delivered zero results. This is, for example, like if I'm going to create now for myself, if I'm doing a business and said, okay, I want you to create AI avatars for your business, and maybe I'm giving it out as a service to create AI avatars for a business, and I'm using an avatar to sell that business. I will not start with, I spent I remember when I spent 50,000 naira a month on influencers and then it delivered zero results. I will never try it again. And then I start talking. The next one, very weak one. She wanted to help people. Stronger one. She watched her mother business fail, but because products were bad, not because the product was bad, but because nobody knew about them. You want to help people to be able to grow their business. Instead of just coming out and say, I want to help you grow your business, why not say, ah, I watched my mother business fail, not because our product was bad, but because nobody knew about them. That is also another way of entering into the market. So let's move on. The third rule, include a clear turning point, a very clear turning point, which is very, very important because you must not just automatically look as if uh, your problem was automatically solved by the product or the services. It's not magic. It shouldn't look as if it's luck. It must be clear that from A and B was done and then C happened. Every great backstory has a moment where everything changed. This is the pivot from struggle to solution. It must feel earned, not lucky. So anything you see it online, wow, you make money. No, it must feel earned. It must feel like the your what the story is saying, what it's trying to communicate, showed actual steps, actual struggle, actual difficulty, and then he achieved. And then you are reaffirm it at the end. If only you can give yourself this period of time to achieve this step, this step, this step, this step, you will get this. And because I did this, it will make sense in the minds of your audience how you achieve your turning point. The turning point is usually the moment where you discover the thing your business now sells or teaches. So if you are not selling something now, maybe something bad happened to you, and because of, you will now discover that, oh, it was this thing that caused why I have not been, why most people are not be making sales. It's because of this that this has been happening to me, and I discovered this product because the product has this particular thing, which is not the selling point now. And because of this particular thing that the product has or the services have, I can now be able to achieve this, and that. And then the fourth rule, define a mission that serves the audience. The backstory must end with a mission. It has to end with a mission about how you are helping others. It shouldn't be about you. It should be about others. That is why most mission statement is all about people. So instead of ending this one, and now I am now successful and living my best life, it should go the other way. Now I am not dedicated to making sure no other business owner ever have to feel invisible again. Now, the reason why this particular I'm using these extracts for the good ending for some clients I've worked with in some of the scripts I have prepared for them when I create avatar for them. Then the fifth rule, the fifth but not the last rule, is you must match the tune to your brand. There are some brand, there's a particular kind of tune which you will get in your document because once you have said you are in logistics, this is where you want to position. The Claude will now give you a tune that should align to your brand mission. Because by the time you now fill in that column, your brand mission, it will give you a tune. If you're not comfortable with that tune, you can adjust it, but it will likely give you something that you can ask him to tell you why he is recommending. Anything Claude recommends for you, you can ask him to tell you why he's recommending it for you before you accept it. Now, look at the tune. If you want to go with bold and ambitious, your backstory tune must push, as well as your story must push inspirational and triumphant, which means there must be something that has to do with inspiration and at the end triumphant at the end. So whatever story you're going to be telling that should match bold and ambitious tone should have the finesse of inspiring and triumphant. If you're going with warm and nurturing brand tone, which means that your backstory has to you feel empathic, empathetic to your audience, and it should feel personal. If your brand tone is educational and professional, which means your backstory should be thoughtful and credible. And then if you are looking at to be relatable, you want to be funny, you want to be, humorous, you want to be talking in such a way by people will not be, I like this guy because I like the way he talks, he's very funny, and that is what you think is ideal for your brand. Your backstory should be revolve around something very light, self-aware, and so on and so forth. All right, let's move on. So this is the five-step backstory formula. Step one, this is the formula you use every time you want to work with any AI influencer in your niche. Just fill in the blank space for your specific character, and then you can use this for your AI avatar. So, if you notice, I made mention that my avatar is from Nigeria. So, the question is, where did the character come from? What was their word before the problem? Set the scene briefly. The reason why this is important is because all these things are done once. Once you do this thing once, you will now lock it in your Claude and say, Claude, this is my AI avatar. I want to be creating content with this particular AI avatar. And this is the backstory of my AI avatar. So by the time I want to create any content, I want my AI avatar to speak. He is speaking from experience. What is the experience? The experience are these things that we are going to write, that you are writing down. These are the experiences of this person. So anything he's saying it based on his backstory, based on where he comes from, based on the struggles found around his environment. You understand? So the example there is Amara grew up in Lagos watching her mother struggle to keep their small fabric business afloat, which means Amara is a Lagosian. The mother sells clothes. That's her backstory. What's her struggle? What specific problem did they face while they were selling clothes? And this particular struggle must be specific to your target audience. First of all, you must know who is the people that you are trying to target here. Fabric sellers. Because Amara is trying, your AI influencer is trying to speak to fabric sellers that are struggling to sell their clothes. People that sell these materials, they are struggling to sell it. And you don't want to come and say, I know what you can do. I have a course that I will teach you how to sell your clothes very well. Maybe you are good at coaching people how to make sales. Maybe that's your stuff. But you want to now you don't want to come as someone from out of space. You want to come as someone that has an experience that aligns with your struggle. So Amarana is now coming and saying, my mama struggled with this same problem that you have too. You understand? And not be now, if you see what was her struggle, it's not that the products were bad, but nobody knew about them. Because if they don't know about you, nobody will come and buy from you. Nobody don't know. So that was their problem. So she highlighted that the struggle was not that they were selling fake clothes, that's why they were not selling them. But the struggle, just like every other business, is selling fabrics or struggling to sell their fabric or struggling to sell their product. It is not because their product was bad, but because nobody knew about them. So that is also a struggle here too. In the next one, discovery. This is what you should answer. What did they find, learn, or realize that changed everything? What is it now that Amara has now discovered that made the mother to start selling her clothes now? The example we have there is that when Amara discovered some AI tools, she realized that the same technology big brands use and now is now accessible to everyone. You can put your own there. Step 4, the transformation. What did they change? Because they have now discovered this thing now, that these AI tools that I can use, I can use these AI tools and it will make people to see me more. What did they do when they saw these AI tools? She decided to make it a mission to bridge that gap. It's not only her that will use these AI tools. She want other people in her business that are inside fabric business to use these AI tools as well. So she wants to bridge that gap, which now brings us to our mission. Today, she is now helping business owners to use AI so that no small brand ever has to feel invisible again. So that is what she's now using to sell her business. So when she now comes out and create a story or any content she's coming out with now, we now relate to you that, hey, I used to be like this, and now I have now grown. This was what I discovered, and I'm now teaching people to use it. People will now start using it. So because of time, we need to start creating this AI stuff. Let it talk, okay? Um, Here's a quick reference guide for common business niches. And these are some of the example for you to use. So you can see for beauty, and this is here's a quick reference guide for most common business niches. Use the suggested struggle and mission as a starting point. You can personalize it for your own specific character. If you are in beauty and skincare, the struggle can be feeling unseen or underrepresented. Missions to drive towards, they are there. So I have for finance, living paycheck to paycheck. This is what should be your mission statement. You can build on these ones. All right, down to e-commerce. So these are real examples. Okay, these are real examples for tech, for finance, for beauty and lifestyle, common mistakes to avoid. Also go through it in your document as well. Then these are some quick backstory tests to confirm if your backstory makes sense. And you can, when you are done, you can write your backstory in the form here. And then you combine all of them to give you your draft. Now, having said that, I'm going to move away now and let's create something. So there's a script I want us to work with. One moment. Let me just bring that up. Okay. Copy. All right. So this is a script. So I'm going to drop this script now. So let's look at agent. Wow. We have 2 hours gone already. So we'll take a break here because let us go and refresh. Um, we'll take a break. Some of us may be hungry, some of us may be tired. This next part is very important. I don't want us to be very overwhelmed that we now lose, energy to move on. So we're going to pause here and take a 15 minutes break. Then we'll come back and then we start putting these characters into action and then we now bring it to life. Okay? We're going to begin with agent. Agent is going to be what we're going to be working with. The other one takes longer. Agent is more faster. The other one takes longer. So agent is more faster. So we're going to work with agent first. Then maybe um, in subsequent videos, we'll now start using we use other AI tools for video generation. Okay. So let me quickly play. Okay. Let's go for a 15 minutes break. Okay. In the meantime, let's put some music. 15 minutes, we'll be back. One moment. All right, guys, take a 15 minutes break. Then we'll come back. We'll now continue on creating our AI so that we can at least get something to work for us today. All right, thank you.
Oh, your mercy never fails me.
Ah, I didn't know my mic was off. Sorry about that. This is if we are back. Kindly write in the comment section so we can continue. Hello? Anybody still on the live? For our back for the second set, kindly comment in the any comments how we can continue. I want to make sure that we are ready to for the next phase of this class so that we can continue where we stop. I don't want to continue and you guys are not available. So I'm going to wait a while.